The year was 1989. The World Wide Web was born, the first episode of The Simpsons hit our screens, and Disney released an instant classic.
Such wonderful things around you. What more are you looking for? Under the sea.
Under the sea.
Now, more than 3 decades later, a live-action adaptation of The Little Mermaid has landed.
Flipping your fins, you don't get too far.
The film has its critics, but it's undeniable. Halle Bailey shines as Ariel, supported by Javier Bardem as King Triton.
That's what I live for.
And Melissa McCarthy as Ursula the Sea Witch Octopus.
Someday I'll be part of
People above and below the water in New Zealand, please welcome King Triton and Ursula, a.k.a. Javier Bardem and Melissa McCarthy.
Oh, yes.
Light bulb wave.
Now, obviously both of you turned down the role of Ariel. I assume that was just to give, young blood a bit of a chance? Let them have a go?
Yeah, I mean, you know what? I saw the audition tape of Harley, and I was like, you know what? Give her a chance. Give her a chance. It's obviously that I will blow it up. I mean, so give it a chance.
Wow, it's so generous and so handsome too, Javier. Melissa, is it true that you had trouble working with Javier because you couldn't not stare at him?
Yeah, there's especially when he's in. Is this so creepy to hear later that I was like, yeah, I was really staring at him. But it is like you meet somebody that you've always wanted to meet, and he's so nice, and then I was like, oh my gosh. But then, there's I don't know how else to describe it. There's an energetic change when you kind of go into character and we're all working, and you feel that whatever magic it is that allows him to do the kind of work he does, you just kind of have to give yourself a minute to just kind of take it in and be a part of it and pinch myself that I got to work with him.
When I knew she was playing Ursula, I went to the script and see where do I play with Ursula. I want to play with her. And there was this scene, and the day comes, and it's too short.
I know.
Right? It's like, I would have loved to have more time with her.
Yeah, well, I want to ask you about the singing. Was it intimidating singing in front of an orchestra?
Yes! Oh my God, it's terrifying. I mean, I was squirreled away back, and I've been, rehearsing for months and months and months, and I finally was like, okay, it's just let it go. Today's the day. And I'm down a hallway, down over there. We're in an old church. It looks like I'm in a tiny supply closet with foam egg crates everywhere. And then Rob came in and said, I think you need to come out and sing on the main floor with the orchestra. And I was like, no. And he's like, I think you should do this. And he has such a comforting way that even when I know in my head this is probably a terrible idea, Rob really can say anything. If he's like, I think you should leap off the building, you're like, you do make it sound like a great idea, Rob. And then, cut to me walking out, following Rob, and he goes, you may only have this experience once, and I don't want you to miss it. And then the orchestra started, and my chest was just vibrating, all of those beautiful instruments and the emotion of all those musicians playing it was so much wilder than I thought. I thought it would be very contained, and they were just playing it, and it really was. He was right, as he always is. It was a moment I will never forget.
I can think of nothing worse. I'm getting goosebumps though. And congratulations on the movie. I was just thinking, these are probably the first roles that you've both got that your daughters are actually impressed with, right?
It's the only one they can see.
The only one that will care.
Javier Bardem and Melissa McCarthy, thank you so much for talking to us tonight.
Bye.
Cool. I'm obsessed with the original, which Lance just told me he hasn't seen, so he needs to rectify. I know, the actual shot gas.
Me out tonight.
Well, look, it's
Never
not my
talk
fault.
to Kanoa.
It's not my fault.
Wow.
But you can go and see this new one, The Little Mermaid, in cinemas nationwide now, and he's got to do some study.